Here we are right back again. My name is Jamar Suber, and this is Legacy of Leaders. And as you know, I talk to amazing leaders from around the globe who push us to go higher. And today I'm with Dwight Cenac of High Noon Game, Inc. Welcome to the show, Dwight.
Well, thank you for having me. What an intro.
Absolutely. So, man, we had a chance to talk before we came on. Tell us about High Noon.
High Noon is a board game. It is poker meets chess in the Wild Wild West. And as I have said before, I like to say all the time, though the game has no dice, you will never play the same game twice.
It gives me kind of a Jumanji type of vibe when you say that.
What year is it?
Dwight, one of the things that I love is in the days of video games and all these things draining with such a negative connotation around games and some of these things, you're bringing something positive. You're bringing something that helps strengthen the brain muscle, correct?
Yeah, that's largely. I did a podcast back in the day, and I did a whole month dedicated to board games and their effects on the cognitive brain and our abilities, because studies have shown that the earlier you play board games in life, the less likely you will have, symptoms of dementia or dementia at all. And this is imperative for people with family members with dementia.
Yeah. My family, we play board games all the time, but I had no idea of the long-term benefit that it could have.
Yeah.
So would you say this is part of the inspiration behind developing this game?
Loosely, through degrees of separation. I like helping people.
Mm-hmm.
I try to keep service in mind as one of the core inspirations and motivations in anything that I do. So I always look for opportunities, or I try to look for opportunities where people are being underserved, or they could use some help, or they think they're being helped and they're not being helped. Where can I help them? And so yes, in that way, part of the inspiration was helping people.
Okay. So High Noon, great presentation, nice and heavy. I'm ready to rip one open. Hopefully I can. But tell us about some of the background, the overview. Give us an overview of the game.
The game itself, it like how it's played.
Yes.
Okay. So it's like chess, and like I say, poker meets chess in the Wild West. So it's like chess in that I have a team and you have a team. And there's little guys on the board, and they move on a grid. And each little guy has their own abilities. They're different in that, like, I might have a team of 5 guys, you may have a team of 3 guys, so there's asymmetry to it. But that's the chess side. The poker aspect is there's no dice in the game. So the game is, at its core, it's pew pew your buddy. Like, you've got cowboys, I got cowboys, and you're shooting each other. And so there's no dice to dictate that kind of thing. So all of your actions and your attacks are done in cards. The cards come in a deck that is unique to the team that you chose. So every deck is different, and you hold them close to your hand. I don't know what cards you have. You don't know what cards I have until it's time to play. So that's where that poker element comes in. When you're speaking about video games in general, a lot of people who have played High Noon have commented on there is a similarity to video games in this. There is some luck, some randomization. There's little crates around the board that your guys can run up to and loot and get items, weapons, things to make them more powerful. So it's like a video game, but it's on the table, and as we've discussed, it engages your brain.
Yeah. Man, I love it. So is it a 2-player game? Can large families like mine play it, or talk to us about that?
Yeah, there's no limit to how many people can play High Noon. So minimum is 2 people recommended. I'm rolling out a module that will allow you to play by yourself if that's the situation you're in. But let's say you have a family of 5 or 6. The starter set is enough for up to 4.
Okay.
But then there are expansions that add other teams in. As long as a player has a team they can bring to the table, they can play.
That's amazing, man. Amazing. So can people go to the stores and buy it? Do they buy it online?
Yes, they can buy it. Here in Jacksonville, we've got several local stores that carry it.
Okay.
And then we have a website. We have our online web store. It's highnoongame.com. People can go there. They can learn all about the game, and they can get copies for themselves and their families and loved ones.
Amazing. So Dwight, as I go ahead and close, just leave something. You're a visionary, you're a leader. nationally, not just here in the community, but just leave something for that leader who you can inspire them to go further.
There was a question that you guys asked in like when we were initially talking. It was like, how do you define success? And that's usually an opener that I've seen panels have. And I mean, there's a lot of different ways to answer it. And this is the only way that I could say it. So if somebody's out there, I hope they hear it and I hope it matters to them. But for me, success, which, some people might qualify as the same thing. Who knows?
They might.
Success is leaving a dent in the universe on the trajectory of your journey. So whatever you're setting out to achieve, you may not achieve it. Shoot for the stars, land on the moon. You might get to the stars. But you say that because if your objective is to go to the stars, maybe you do, maybe you don't. There's no guarantee in life. But if you can make a dent in the universe that is so noticeable that somebody else can grab onto that behind you and climb and get themselves to the same journey that you were going on, like they find themselves on that life path. I qualify that as a success.
Yeah.
So make that difference. That's the success.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Great to have you on the show. So you heard it right here. Make a difference. When you leave this life, leave something behind for people to grab hold of. Thank you for watching Legacy of Leaders. I'm your host, Jamar Suber. Have a great day.